Hi, welcome home, my friends. Welcome to the wonderful world of Water Bath Canning Plus. And today we are going to be making beef stew. And we have beef round eye roast here. I have 5.5 pounds of that. I have celery. We have onions, red skin potatoes, and carrots. And I also have beef broth that I'm going to be using that I had canned myself. And also I have a mushroom beef gravy mix that I have had in the pantry that I need to use up. I made this on 7/23, so I'm trying to circle through all of my 7/23s since it is 7/25. Since it is 2025, I'm trying to use all of my older stuff so that I can continue to make more and replace these. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop up the beef. I'm going to cut it up in chunks. I'm also going to scrub the potatoes. I am going to leave the skins on because I do love the red skin potatoes. And I'm just going to cut off blemishes like that and like that, just to make sure that I don't have any deep grooves of dirt in there, because I don't want any dirt in there. Some of them I have a scrub brush, so I'm going to get in there, so some of them will come out. But if you prefer not to have potatoes with skins on, by all means, take your skins off if you prefer. But I just love the red skin potatoes. And so we're going to chop this all up, and we're going to put them in bite-sized pieces, and we're going to fill them up in the jar. And we'll be back. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the scraps of the fat that you've seen me cut off, I'm going to save that and put that in with my beef bones. And when it comes in time for me to get enough bones, which I already have some in the freezer, I'm going to make some beef broth. And the fat will give it flavor. And then what I'm going to do is when I make the beef broth, I will let it refrigerate, and then I will take the fat cap of this fat. When it renders down, I will take that fat cap off, and then I will process my jars at that time, because I don't want a lot of grease like that in my broth. So that's what I'm going to do with the scraps that I have from here. And now I'm going to cut the steaks that I have into cubes, probably like 1 inch, one and a half inch cubes, 2 inches maybe, probably 2-inch cubes. Didn't they look fantabulous? Oh, I just thought they looked really good too. Yeah, I was like, wow, these turned out really good. And I decided to buy a whole roast like that because it was easier. Actually, it was cheaper than if I bought so much, because I don't know how many, because I want to do jars for the pressure canner and I want to do jars for the water bath. So I didn't know how much I would need, and if I have extra beef laying around, well, we'll figure that out, right? But now we're going to cut up the beef, and then we will move on to the carrots and the potatoes and the celery and onions. am saving all my veggies so that I can make veggie broth. Or I can put this stuff in with my beef broth or whatever. I've got carrots to put in here, so all you do is put them in a bag, put them in the freezer until you're ready to go. And then this is just an old potato peeler that I've had for like ever. I probably took it from my mom's house when I was little, when I got married the first time. So there you go. There's the start of your veggie broth or your for your stock. And it's just with one meal that we're making. So I know you all are going to ask me where I got this. And this is who it's from. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, I use this to cut my carrots to make them crinkle cut. And it's kind of a sharpish blade, so you have to be careful. And it's made out of stainless steel. It looks like it did have a handle at one point in time, but that's okay. It still works great. And I use this to make my crinkle cut carrots. And I got this from a resale shop. I went to one and they had a whole big tub of things, $1. So I bought this for $1. So I don't know if they still make them, but it works great and you'll see. I don't even cut the ends off of my carrots or the bottoms yet, because that's what this is going to do. See? Don't even need it. These are kind of big, so. And then these will just go right in my veggie bag. See? Just put them in my veggie bag. And then now, I'm just going to make carrots. I'm going to make them a little bit big since they're going in the stew. Yeah, it's just too much for one. Two. So I'm going to leave them like this for the stew. Isn't it just the coolest? Don't you just love it? And then if you want to make coins, and now you have coins. So see? Isn't that pretty cool? I mean, I've used it for cucumbers and everything. So, yeah. Those are a little bit smaller, but I'll use those up, put them on the side. And they're tasty. And they just look so much prettier than just chopped, but that's my little tidbit. Now, I won't put these in my veggies because they get rotten spots on them. And I normally don't put potatoes in my veggies, because my veggie broth, because this will make it very cloudy. So I don't use potatoes. So those will go in the trash. Okay, so we have everything chopped and cubed, sliced and diced and everything. So we're getting ready, set to go. So I just want to let you know that I am going to be using my own beef broth. And we are going to be adding that in there. And I do have some with mushrooms. I'm debating whether to use the mushrooms. My fella doesn't like mushrooms, so I probably won't put it in the quarts, but I'm going to put it in the pints because this would be enough for me to have a serving if he's at work or whatever. So I'll probably put the mushrooms in the pints. And I'm going to not put them in with the quarts. I decided to do quarts and pints only because I want to pressure can the pints and I want to water bath the quarts. So that's where we are. So I'm going to lower the camera a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. I'm putting in a cup of beef, a half a cup of carrots, a cup of potatoes, a quarter to a half a cup of celery. Same for the onion, and I'm not putting any salt or pepper in because I know that my broth is already seasoned enough and I don't want it to be too seasoned. We can always season our food when we warm it to eat it, especially if those like a little bit more salt. And my fella does, and I don't, so I only put a little bit of salt in my broths when I make that, but not enough to make it too salty for me when I want to eat it. So I'm going to lower the camera, and then we're going to get started. And I'm only putting in about 6 or 7 pieces of meat in there. I'm not a real big meat person like that. I have 7 quarts, which is about a cup of beef in there. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pints. So I have enough to fill 2 canners. One I'm going to fill with the water bath, and then the other one I'm going to do the pressure canner, which is the pints right here. Pints are 75 minutes when you pressure can, and quarts are 90 minutes. But I'm going to do the water bath for 3 hours, which is going to be these ones right here, and then these ones will be for 75 minutes. So I'm going to continue loading them up. 1 cup of potatoes. And this is all cold pack, well, room temperature cold. Meat, potatoes, carrots, everything is cold pack and raw. And so I'm not even going to warm up my broth either. I'm just going to put it in there and then let the canners warm themselves up, and then we'll start our timers then. Half a cup for a pint. So now we are done with the potatoes. We are moving on to the carrots. For the carrots, we need a quarter of a cup for the carrots. So roughly that's about a handful. So we're just going to shove them in there. About a handful is what I'm going to do. So for the quarts, we're going to need half a cup. Now we're done with the carrots per se. Now we need to add celery and onion. We need between a quarter to a half a cup. So I have a quarter, or a quarter of a cup. Now we need a quarter of a cup for pints. Done with celery. Now it's onion time. An onion needs an eighth of a cup to a quarter. And I like onion, so I'm going to use a quarter of a cup. I'm going to use a quarter of a cup. It smells so yummy in here. Now this one will need a quarter to a half. And I'm putting in half a cup. And these are sweet onions, and they're not burning my eyes, because that's why I like to get sweet onions, because they're not so strong. Okay. Well, gang, it looks like that's done. So it doesn't look so bad, huh? I just think it looks so cool, doesn't it? I just wished all the colors would stay as vibrant as they were when you put them in sometimes. All right, so now we are going to put in the broth. So we're going to open up the mushroom beef. Good. Delicious. Just delicious. Good too. So I'm going to take this fat out because I don't want the fat in my jar. All right, so I'm just going to scoop this out. And I know this is all the deliciousness, but I just don't want it in my jars, in my food right there. Not that it's bad, because it's not. I don't want like a great big clump going in one jar. All right, so as you can see, there's mushrooms in there that I canned. I know, they kind of, you know, it is what it is. But they'll be good. So what I'm going to do actually is take out a couple of the mushrooms. This way I can add a little bit of mushrooms in each jar, rather than, again, one jar having all the mushrooms. And it looks like I'm going to have to take some more out. All right, we're going to have to refigure this. Hold a minute. All right, so I just took some, and I tried one too. They're so good. I wish I could make them look like the Pennsylvania Dutch ones. I don't know how. But I'm still working on it. Still working on it. So I'm just taking out a little bit so I can save room for my mushrooms. Sometimes this is what you have to do, right? Now, don't tell me you guys haven't done this. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. We'll just put them in there. All right. So let me scooch on over to these other jars and get them out. I mean, I like onions too, but I would rather have a mushroom than an onion. So I'm just taking some out. The recipe called for 1/8 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup. And I put 1/4 of a cup in. So, I mean, I'm still well within the recipe guidelines. And you all know that I'm just putting it out there. This pressure canning, I always do USDA because it is what it is. And I'm not going to mess around with a big pressure canner that can do whatever. You know, we've seen a few things happen in the group where even Water Bath makes mistakes. And, you know, knock on wood, I don't need anything going on with the pressure canner. So with Water Bath, it is a little slippery slope for us, and we can do that, and we do. But I just want to let you know that when I'm doing the Water Bath, it is not USDA approved. That this recipe is not USDA approved for it to be in the Water Bath because they say you can't water bath meats for 3 hours. But we're going to. But for this recipe, the pressure can, it is strictly USDA. I'm just adding the mushrooms to the jars. And, you know, going to be pushing them down. And if they all don't fit, that's fine. That's fine. Just enough to get a little flavor in there, because why not? I'm putting in about, oh, this is like a teaspoon. Now I'm going to put it in the broth. And since this is a mushroom broth, I'm going to put it in about halfway so I can have enough for all 7 of these jars. So that's where that's at. So now we are taking, where is the beef broth? Right here. Isn't it dark? Oh, it's amazing. And this was in October 2023. Still a good lid. Man, that smells good too. Man, I just love having broth. I really do. And I'm just going to pour it in my container here because it's just easier for me to pour. Doesn't it look good? Can you see how nice it is? Such a nice, good color. And then if you want to, when you have yours, when you warm them up, just add a little thickening agent to it. And then you can have it a little bit thicker, like maybe how Del Monte does, or what is that other beef stew company? Dinty Moore is who I meant to say. I'm going to fill them up to the 1-inch head space right now, and then I'm going to get my debubbler and debubble them. And because it's a pint, I'm going to use a chopstick. I find, for me, that a chopstick works very good. It just does. So let me move these out of the way so y'all can see what I'm doing. And I'm just sliding it down. You guys can see, just making sure. I always go around the jar. And I go inside the jar a little bit just to make sure. And then when you do it, it always lifts up the food. Make sure everything's down at 1 inch. And I will get my little stickeroonie here. All right, we're at a 1 inch. It's down touching the water, so that's good. All right, so he is good. I'm gonna get my vinegar. And I already did pour vinegar in my canners. You always want to wipe your rims with vinegar when you're doing meat. Because as you can see, I did slap it a little bit. This way it makes it have a nice, good seal. Finger tight. I'm going to go a little bit tighter just because I know this is going in the pressure canner. Well, we're touching that, so that is good. Just going to move that little mushroom around. You can still see what I'm doing. All right. It's going to look good, isn't it? I just think it looks nice. All right, so I'm going to just get these all filled up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to move on to the bigger ones. Plenty of room in these guys. So we'll fill this one up. And this one is from 1222. Good. Smells so yummy. See how bright, dark this one is too? Oh, there was some fat down there. Yep, it was a part of the fat. Sometimes it sinks, sometimes it floats. Broth, sediment. All right, so we're gonna add another one. This one is also from 1222. Good. Lids look good. Sometimes you get that. Oh, let me see what it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So here you go. I want to show you this. Oh, it's just spices. Oh, I thought I had some pinholing on it, but no. It's just some spices stuck on it. Oh, there's a little baby one, though. Right there at the top. Can you see it? See just that little bit? That's the start of a pinhole. Had I left it in there longer than that, it would have just eroded it. And just what it is it's the acid from inside the jar. But, you know, it happens. I mean, I did a video of when I was doing stuffed peppers and I seen it on the store cans. So I'm like, see, even store cans have it. And this one looks good too, doesn't it? I'm telling you, there is just nothing like your own broth. Another little piece of fat went in there, which I'm fine with. Some little bits of fats in there too, so we'll just dispense them amongst them all. And one more. So we've used 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th jar. But we've done 14, so that's good. That did good. You guys, it just smells so good. Another dark broth. And more fat. All right, so I'm gonna debubble here. All right, so I know I am gonna have to do, yeah, more on these. Oh, that's why it's always good to look at your jars. I've got a big air bubble in there. There it goes. Piece of meat got suctioned to the side of the jar. Let me do a quick spin around them all. You always get that one whippersnapper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of these scraps that I have and I'll just make a vegetable soup because I got mushroom, onion, carrots, and potatoes, celery. I'll just do vegetable soup tomorrow. So that will be fine. And it will be, you know, I don't know if I'll do water bath or what, but you got to use it up, you know. And who doesn't want soup in the winter? I do. I'm going to wipe off these with vinegar. It's been a fun day. Been a fun day. It's raining. It's horrible. We had a member who was canning yesterday, and she said, I'll be right back. I'm going in the basement. And so I asked her, I said, what are you going in the basement for? And she had a tornado warning to take cover right then and there. But she texted this morning and she said, all is well. So I was like, whew, can you imagine? Can you imagine? So we're probably getting the rain from then here now in Michigan. So that's kind of what happens. It all comes back to the east. Now these are going in the water bath, so they're just going to be finger tight. All right, so I'm going to load these in the water bath canner, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, so I got my jars in, and we're going to turn it on. Well, let me put the lid on. And I'm going to measure my water line to make sure that I am an inch and a half, 2 inches, and I am at 2 inches. I'm sorry, I am at an inch and a half. It looks like, whoops. And I stuck it right on the rim, and I'm at an inch and a quarter. So but I'm up to my max fill line here, so that is enough. So we're gonna turn it on. And we got it on. We want to preheat the jars. And then press next. Next. And now it's preheating. This will go all the way over to here when it's ready. And then we will move it on up to high. And then we'll set the timer for 3 hours. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to turn the pressure canner on. I got to figure out which, there it is. And then I'm just going to turn it on like a medium heat. Medium, medium, high. Medium, there's high. So about, you know, on the left side of the medium. So like, anyway, just like that, medium-ish, medium, high. So I have that in there. And then all the water that I have in here is I have some vinegar, and I also have 3 quarts of water. And you can build up like a little line in there, and that's usually where your water goes if you don't use the glass jar, a quart jar to fill it up, but that's what I do. And when you pressure can, that's all it is. So you're going to put the lid on. I have a dial, and you just got to line up on mine. You just got to line up this part with this part and then turn it. So that's all I'm doing is turning it. I got to put the phone down. All right. So I just turned it so it's even, it matches. So everything's all lined up. Everything is all connected. And this is to a vent. It lets out the steam. This is my regulator, and this is my dial. I'm in Michigan, so I have to go up to 10 pounds. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have it go all the way up to 10 pounds. And then when it's at 10 pounds, I'm going to start the timing at 75. I'll set the stove on for 75 minutes. I have to watch the flame down here, because that is what regulates this up here. If my flame is too high, then it will go up higher to here. So we want to make sure it stays at 10. If it goes up to 11, I'm okay with that. If it goes up to 12, I'm like, okay, we got to really crank it down. And I forgot. That reminded me, this is my high burner stove. I have to bring it over here because this will always be super high. So I have to turn this off, and we're going to bring it over here. Good thing I said that. So see, even us seasoned canners have to have, you know, let me put the phone down. Us seasoned canners have to, you know, rethink what we're doing too. Okay, so now we're on the right burner. Because if I have to turn it up, I can turn it up to high. If I have to turn it down to low, sometimes I have to can when it's really low like that. It just depends. So with here, I can make the flame higher, or I can make it regular. And on that, my big burner here, I can't because it's got a super burner on there, and I can't. I know a member had asked that too, that she wanted to, hers was, she couldn't get it down below 15 or something. And that's what I suggested. So see, I have to do the same thing. But we're warming it up. My canner is level with my stove. It's on the burner. None of it is hanging over too far, to the left, to the right. We're all centered. So we are just ready, set to go. So I will bring you back when we get to it, when it starts climbing, because we have to let it vent. So I'm going to take this off. And then we're going to have to, once the water boils in the canner, the steam will come out, and we need to make sure it vents for 10 minutes. That way all the air that's in there currently will come out, and it comes out through there. And you'll see it's like a little smokestack. I'll try to see if we can see it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So here we go. This is Big Ben. He is my big canner. So he is a 23 quart. I think it's a Presto. Yes, it's a Presto. It's a Presto. Yep, I've had this. I got this when I was 19 years old. And I'm not near 19 right now. So, oh my gosh, I just did the math in my head. Wow, I've had this a long time. A really long time. But anyway, we'll bring you back when it starts to vent, and we will go from there. Okay, now this is venting, so I'm timing it now. So it has to vent for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I'm going to put the regulator on this. And it's going to go right there. So that's what I'm waiting for. And we're still preheating over here. Alright, so it's been 10 minutes. I'm putting the vent on. with the regulator on. And so now that, the air is coming out of here because it's needing to get under pressure now. That will flop up. And we're still at 0 because I just put it on. And it will shake like that. You may not have one that looks like this, but they're all about the same. And there it goes. Let's wipe off the water. It's hot, don't touch that. So now that it's popped up, it's building pressure within inside the canner, and I am waiting for the here to rise, and if it rises too quickly, then I'll just turn the burner down. Oops, this burner down. But there we go. All right, we're up at 6 pounds of pressure right now, and the water bath canner just let me know it was done preheating, so now we're gonna go start that. All right, since we did cold pack, we're just gonna bypass that because we've already done that and they're in the canner. So we'll press next, and then we have to go, because this will only, because it's down, it went to progress or process, and it will only let me go up to 2 hours. I'll show you. See, it won't let me go up anymore. So that's why I have to turn it up to high. And now I can set it for 3 hours. And there we go. Press next. And there we go. We're off to the races. Now we're at 10. I'm gonna see if it stays there or if it's gonna creep up. I'm sure it's gonna creep up because it is. So what I'm gonna do, my flame is right here on medium. So I'm gonna turn it down to just on the other side of medium, or until I see the flame move. There, so that's less, because here's where it was. Let me see if I can show you better over here. All right, so here's where it was prior, and now I'm turning it down to on the other side of medium. Now it's on the other side of medium. So we're just gonna watch it. I don't want it to creep up anymore. I don't know if you can hear this, it's just going ch, ch, ch. And it's going up a little bit more, so I'll just watch it for a few more seconds. If it continues to climb, then I know I need to turn my flame down just a bit more. And it is, so I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit more. Now it's between medium and low. There's medium, so it's right in the middle. Let's see, where did I have you show it? Right here. So it's like on medium, low medium. All right, I'm gonna leave it there for a second to see if it climbs up to 12. Or is it gonna hang? Okay, see, it's going back down to 11, so that's good. So I might have my heat at the great, as they call it, the sweet spot. And you just have to learn your stove too. I've had this stove for about 3 years now. And it's taken me a hot minute to learn it too. It's one of them smart stoves, and it's like, why can't I have a regular stove? But I'm thankful I have the stove. So it looks like it's gonna still hang around 11, which I'm okay with. Let's looks like it's great. It's moved down a little bit, but not bad, because it was between 11 and 12, and now it's more on 11. And this is what I mean by having to watch it, you know, as everyone has stated, babysit it. Whereas the water bath, I can go and do the laundry and do whatever else I need to do, be in the other room, be in the office. Because if it goes below 10, then I'm going to have to start the whole process over again, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to turn, because it keeps going down, I'm going to turn the heat up it's between low and medium. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more on the high side towards the medium. So there, now medium is here and low is right here. So I just moved it up just a tiny bit. Still on 11, so maybe that's a good spot. Looks good at 11. It's just a tiny notch above 11, and that's still okay. Once it hit 10, and my timer here says it's 3:29, so it's been above 10 for 3 minutes. Alright. Just going to turn it down just a teensy. Alright, so I'm going to start timing, which it's been 4 minutes since it's been above 10. So we're just going to set the timer here, and I will keep a watch on it and let you know. So that's a good spot for me right now. I'll keep you posted. Alright, so it stayed around 11 pounds. It went up and down a little bit. It's close to 12, but it is done now, so I'm going to turn it off. And I'm just going to let the pressure drop down. I'm not going to take this off. I'm not going to do anything with it. It's just going to slowly go down by itself. And then we'll take them out. And we're doing good over here. We got an hour and a half. And we're still bubbling in there. Still going. We are. And we'll take them out. All right, we're going to take them out. And these are the plates. A couple of them I've already sealed. It smells good. And there's no siphoning. This one needs to seal. Looks like this one needs to seal. And this one does. And maybe that one. Looks good. What do you guys think? Does it look good? I think so. And we've got a half hour left on the water bath. It's done. So we'll take the lid off, let them sit there. There you go, looks good. No siphoning at all, so that's good. All right, we'll just turn this off. There. We'll wait 5 minutes. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Wow, looks good. And the reason the jars look like that is just because it was raw beef. But look at the crinkle cut carrot. Aren't they cute? Turned out good. Now the recipe says you could have cooked the beef and I think when I make my vegetable beef out of the leftovers, I think I'm gonna cook some hamburger and put in there. That should be good too, because I got hamburger in the freezer. But it looks good, doesn't it? The broth is nice and dark. There you go. Oh, sounded like one pinged, but it's got water on them. And that'll dehydrate. It'll evaporate, I mean, the water. You never want to tip your jars, because you could get one of those pieces of stuff just stuck in your rim. But I think they look good.